Everyone knows Borneo has orangutans, but almost nobody talks about the animal that vanished from scientific sight for 87 years, the frog that turned its feet into parachutes, or the bird so strange it sits alone in its own family. In this rainforest, the strangest animals are not always the largest. Some are small enough to disappear on a leaf. Some move above you in the canopy. Some walk the forest floor like ghosts. Borneo is the world's third largest island, a vast equatorial world shared by Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei. WWF Malaysia describes it as one of Earth's great biodiversity hotspots, with rich tropical forests holding an extraordinary share of global life. But the secret side of Borneo is not only orangutans, elephants, and proboscis monkeys. It is the life hiding between layers, stream edges, leaf litter, trunks, lowland swamps, and the high green ceiling of the canopy. Tonight, we are not counting animals. We are following clues. The first ghost is a toad. The Bornean rainbow toad, also called the Sambas stream toad, was known to science from old records, and then, for 87 years, it slipped away. No dramatic roar, no giant footprint, just silence. When it reappeared, the story felt impossible. A small rainforest amphibian with long limbs and a body marked in colors that look almost painted for the night. Red, green, yellow, purple, and shadow. That is what makes Borneo feel unreal. A creature can be missing for generations, then return on a wet leaf, reminding us that not seen is not the same thing as gone. Now look up. Wallace's flying frog does not fly like a bird. It falls with control. When threatened or moving through the trees, it leaps, spreads 4 huge webbed feet, and turns its own body into a living parachute. National Geographic describes the trick. Membranes between the toes and loose skin flaps catch the air, letting the frog glide, sometimes 50 feet or more, toward another branch or the forest floor. In a rainforest where the ground is dangerous and the canopy is broken into islands, this is a brilliant answer to a simple problem. How do you cross empty space when you are built like a frog? Some animals hide by being quiet. The Bornean bristlehead hides by being hard to understand. It has a black body, a heavy bill, a red head and throat, and a bare yellow crown with bristle-like projections. It moves through the canopy in social, noisy groups, and taxonomically, it is almost alone. BirdLife places it in its own family, Pteriaceae. Not a parrot, not a hornbill, not just another rainforest bird, a Bornean original, but originality does not make it safe. BirdLife lists the Bornean bristlehead as vulnerable, with a decreasing population tied to forests under pressure. Then the forest gives you a flash of black velvet and green fire. Roger Brooks' birdwing was discovered on Borneo by Alfred Russel Wallace in 1855. Its wings look less like an insect and more like a royal banner, deep black, cut with sharp green shapes that catch the light as it moves. Males are often studied where they gather to puddle, drawing minerals from wet ground. That behavior can turn a muddy riverbank into a living signal, a place where the forest briefly reveals its jewels. This is not a monster. It is not large because it wants to frighten you. It is large and bright because evolution, display, chemistry, and sunlight have been riding on wings for millions of years. On the forest floor, color becomes secrecy. The Bornean peacock pheasant is not a show-off in an open field. It is an elusive lowland forest bird carrying iridescent eye spots like hidden coins. BirdLife lists it as endangered, with only thousands, not millions, of mature individuals estimated, and a decreasing trend. Even its habitat story is cautious. Records come from primary forest, secondary forest, river areas, ridges, swamp forest, and logged forest. The truth may be that the bird has always been hard to see, and our map of its life is still incomplete. In Borneo, mystery is not decoration. Sometimes, mystery is a data gap with feathers. The next animal is best introduced by absence. A rustle, a low movement, a shape between roots. The Bornean ground cuckoo is endemic to Borneo and widely regarded as scarce to very rare. BirdLife describes it as shy and little known, a forest floor bird of primary and tall mature secondary forest. It forages where the light is low, on arthropods and fruit, and has even been reported following army, ant swarms, bearded pigs, and sun bears. That is why forest ghost fits. Not because it is supernatural, but because the animal lives where a camera arrives late and the forest has already closed behind it. Not every hidden animal is formally endangered. The blue-banded pitta is listed by BirdLife as least concern, though decreasing. That matters, because rare to viewers is not the same as rare in conservation status. But visually, it belongs in this story. A jewel-colored groundbird, native to Borneo's 3 countries, tied to moist lowland forest and other humid forest habitat. In a documentary full of threatened shadows, this chapter is a reminder to be precise. Wonder does not require exaggeration. Sometimes the truth is already bright enough. Now the rainforest gets truly strange. The Borneo ninja slug, Ibicus ratcheleg, is a long-tailed semi-slug described from Sabah's mountain forests, a soft-bodied animal found on leaves, with a tail it can wrap around itself at rest. Its original description also records a club-shaped dart sack. That tiny anatomical detail turns this from a simple slug cameo into one of the weirdest romance stories in the rainforest. In land snails and semislugs, love darts are reproductive structures used during mating. In a related Sabah semislug, researchers showed a syringe-like dart can deliver accessory gland products. So the ninja slug nickname is catchy, but the science is stranger. Even the quietest creatures in Borneo can hide elaborate evolutionary machinery. Finally, a dragon that does not breathe fire. Draco cornutus is a Southeast Asian flying lizard with Borneo in its range and type locality. Like other flying dragons, it glides on membranes supported by elongated ribs, not wings, but living sails. And in studied Draco populations, those sails can do something beautiful. They can resemble falling leaves. Not the leaves still attached to the branch, the leaves drifting down through the forest. A predator sees motion. The lizard becomes a leaf. For a few seconds, survival is choreography. Borneo's most unbelievable animals are often small, hidden, and easy to overlook. A toad on a leaf. A frog between branches. A bird in the canopy. A pheasant on the ground. A slug with a story too strange to rush. The real lesson is not just that these animals exist. It is that life can remain hidden while the habitat around it changes. Borneo's rainforest is not finished revealing itself. The question is whether we can protect it long enough to see what else is hiding in the green.